So I hope you know that I wouldn't be posting all of those greatest hits of mine unless I was really going through something and I was thinking, which is what I do when I have to work out something for myself first before I can share it with you. Um, but I appreciate some of you finding some of my older teachings therapeutic, and I appreciate some new brothers and sisters I've seen listening of late. I want to talk to you today about what I've been going through. And I'm going to be very, very honest. So get ready. This is going to be a good one. I can tell you now. As many of you know, I was in real estate school. And I immediately went into it right after I finished the work I was doing on Midnight Texas. I wrapped Midnight Texas around September 28th or so, and literally started real estate school the next day. And it was important for me to get through it as quickly as possible because I knew other films or other shows were coming to town and I wanted to be available. So that was my first motivation for wanting to pass everything in 30 days. But as it would happen, I did pass the majority of all the work, including the state exam, in 29 days. When I took the national test, I would find out that I missed passing it by one correct answer. So that one correct answer obviously became a thorn in my side, to say the least. And I decided immediately to take it within a week's time, and I failed it that time by 4 questions. And in my hubris, I took it 2 weeks later, and I failed it again by 3 questions. So at that point, I said, you know what? This is not about this test. Now, I had never in my life had anything that was ever difficult for me to do. I tend to put my mind to something and I would pass it. I would do it. But this one wasn't happening that quickly. It was showing me something about myself. So, yeah, I'm probably taking a test some 35 years or so after I've already, taken my previous test. So I'm rusty. I could say it's some of that. And I don't like the conditions that I'm taking the test under, so I'm sure I'm having some trouble with the temperature in the room, not being able to have a head covering on my head. I can name all of the reasons, but I don't believe it's any of those either. I think when we hit an impasse, and we hit them for various reasons throughout our lives, before we barrel through that impasse and make something happen, the wise man says, what else is in this room that I need to learn, discover, explore before I go through to the other side? Let me stop and be patient with myself long enough to see what's in here before I force my way into another level. The national test has been a comma where in my past I would have put a period and been done with it, quit it, I'm done, I don't care. But the comma is causing me to pause and think, why do I need my real estate license? I'm doing pretty well as a property manager, working for the owner that I work for. Is it about autonomy? Is it about more work? Is it about more money? Is it about respect? There are many reasons for me taking this test. But then I got to thinking, maybe I'm taking it in the wrong place. Maybe that's the dream I have for myself, but not in New Mexico, but in Palm Springs, California. Maybe that's what this is really all about. Do you really want to pass that test here and then have to take all these classes all over again and pass it again in California because they don't transfer? But so much is coming to New Mexico, and I feel like I'm right in the right place at the right time for Netflix is coming and people looking for homes, and it makes sense. But is it my destiny? That's the question. I remember when I left New York City, I left New York City. For anybody who knew me, all I ever talked about from the age of 16 on was one of these days I'm going to live in New York City. And there came a point when I was in New York City that I hardly ever left my house. There was nothing outside of my door I wanted to see in New York City. I was done with that place, and I knew why, and then I still didn't have the courage to leave. And it was not until I came to New Mexico accidentally and then discovered the state of New Mexico that I made the decision to leave. But I knew New Mexico wasn't the final destination because actually, the same day I was landing to be here permanently, one of the worst snowstorms in history had hit New Mexico. It was 2007. And I was miserable, but I didn't say it to anybody. Because anyone who knows me well know I hate snow. Hate it. And the same feeling that comes up in people who say, I love the snow, I love snowboarding, I love skiing, I love the crispness in the air. They have all their reasons, and their heart beats faster because they love snow. The opposite of that is true for me. I hate the crunch of it. I don't want to walk on it. I don't like the look of it. When I'm looking out the window and it's covering everything, I do not think that's a serene image. All I see is ice and problems and coldness and having to drive in it. I only see the problems that snow brings. So that tells me I'm a sun person. That tells me I am the perfect candidate to live in an arid climate 24/7, 365. So in my heart of hearts, I want to live in Palm Springs. I've always known I was going to retire there. And retirement is coming up. I'll be 62 in July. I can early retire then if I want to. I'll get less money, but I can. Full retirement is 70. But I think we're playing Russian roulette with our health, that we're going to be the people we are now, then, in 10 more years. I don't think I want to gamble with my health that way. If I can make the move there now and be where I'm supposed to be, then why don't I make the move? So I am waiting to take this final test on 12/12, which God willing will be my sober anniversary as well. And all I know is this story, final chapter, has yet to be written. That's where I've been. That's what I've been going through. I have a lot more to say about it in the days to come. Peace.